everyone, Merry Christmas, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit later, but that's because it's Christmas and I wanted to share my eggnog recipe. When I started Term Healthy Mama, there was not a recipe to make eggnog. And I don't like eggnog, but my family loves it. So I found a recipe in a different cookbook. And I adapted it for Term Healthy Mama. So today that's what I'm going to share with you, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to talk you through it, so forgive me if I don't talk you all the way through it. I broke my stand for my camera, which is actually my phone, so now I'm having to improvise, and it's taking me a long time to actually get things set up to video, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it how I typically do it, so just keep bear in mind with me. Please be patient, and when we get to the end I will share my recipe in the comments below so you can make the recipe for yourself. It's not hard, and it's a little bit time consuming just because it's a little fuzzy, and I usually make it the day before and then we drink it the next day, but this year when we went to get eggnog there wasn't any, so making it and drinking it, although it does need to sit for a little while just for the flavors to melt together. So anyway, that's enough talking for today. Let's get on with the video so you can have your own Term Healthy Mama eggnog recipe a little bit later than traditional for Christmas. But hey, better late than never, right? So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start by taking, these are my fresh farm eggs from my mom, and I'm going to separate the eggs, the yolk from, hopefully, without making a mess, hopefully separate the egg yolk, because the egg yolk is going to go in this bowl, like that, and I'm going to need to do it with 12 of them. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with the egg yolks? I'm going to actually use that in my this week, or for the rest of my meal prep, so it won't be a problem. In fact, usually I will use more than I do when I make this. This is one of the recipes I like to use to go ahead and get my egg yolks used up, is to make this. And you see I'm doing each egg separately. These are fresh eggs, but sometimes when you do this, the egg will be messed up and I will end up with a bad egg, or I'll get a shell. This way, I just do one at a time, and it seems to work a little bit better to do it that way for me. And yes, it does take a while to do. I'm not exactly sure where I found this. Oh, actually I do remember. It came from the thrift store. I have never successfully done eggs or separated eggs without one. How do you separate eggs? Because this is how I do it, and it is literally the only way I do it. I've tried doing it before with just like pouring it back and forth in the eggshells. It was a nightmare, and I was so frustrated with it. So I was really glad to get this tool because it works so much better. And then even when you do it yourself, this particular tool just works so much better. And I tend to like kitchen gadgets. I own many kitchen gadgets because I like to do things from scratch, and I also enjoy learning new things. Although, do you really learn new things when you do eggs? But eggs like this? But it is a lot easier than it appears, as long as you have the right tools. And since I got it from the thrift store, it's not like I paid an arm and a leg for it. So I was so glad when I got this tool. It's like I said, did it the other way before? No thanks. Alright, so we're all about over halfway done. What kind of recipes do you guys use
because Trim Healthy Mommy uses a lot of egg whites in their stuff, and that seems to be a issue for me. It's like, what do I do with all the egg yolks? And I can only make so much curd. And what's the other thing? Oh, there was a recipe that had cookies in it, but because I never remember to put them in like scrambled eggs, I'm really bad about that. I think it's just because I go to make eggs and it's like you mix them up in a bowl and you're done. And I'm thinking, oh man, I still have all those egg yolks. And I don't make eggnog very often, so someday maybe I will, but it's quite a bit of work. And it's nice to have a special treat. If I had it all the time, you just don't enjoy it as much. So see, that's exactly why I do one at a time. Or if I break the egg yolk, this one did a little bit, hopefully, there. Alright, and I will actually leave that one out because that one got a little bit of yolk in it. Alright, so the recipe says to do the egg yolks, and the recipe actually calls for some maple syrup, but I'm just going to use some sweetener. And then I have, let's see, the nutmeg and cinnamon. So the nutmeg is 2 teaspoons. 8 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. And then cinnamon. Let's see, I think the cinnamon is only 1 teaspoon. This always surprises me that it's only 1 teaspoon. Like that. And then I think, oh, I need to grab the vanilla. I'll be right back. Alright, so that needs to be tablespoon and a teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, and then it says to whisk it together. So I don't know if you can see it or not. There we go. And whisk it together. This next part is too difficult. We have to heat the milk for 5 minutes over medium-high heat. So you can only do it for 5 minutes, and I only do it for 5 minutes because you want to be real careful to make sure you don't overheat the eggs. So let's turn on the heat. And then it says medium high. Medium high? Right, yep. And then we're going to put in the cloves. I'm supposed to put in 24 cloves. And yes, that means I get to count them all. So let's see how we do. See, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. cook this for 5 minutes. There's my finger reminding me. Alright, now I have to cook that mixture that we made with the eggs for 5 more minutes on medium low. I can pour this in. It says to do it slowly. See if I can. It's not easy to do. Like I said, this is why you only make it once a year, because it's a lot of work. Not a lot of ingredients, but it's definitely a lot more work than a normal drink would be. It's like a thick syrup. I wonder if the syrup would be like good in coffee then. But it would be. If only I liked eggnog. But I don't. I don't know why I don't. It would be really good for you with all those eggs, I'm sure. Almost there. Go. It says to strain it. I'm assuming in case we cooked it a little too much. I don't think we did. Alright. It gets most of the cloves in there. Go. Now, we're not quite done. Hold on. I'm going to put it in this jug. And then I can put this jug in the fridge because it needs to cool for a while. Of course, I always have to spill it because it's just the way it goes. There we go. Fresh eggnog. Now I'll have to wait and see if my family likes it.
Alrighty, folks, there you go. That's my eggnog. Not too difficult, but this takes a long time and it's a little bit tedious, but my family really loves it, and I enjoy making it for them. I just started drinking it. But hopefully it's a little bit encouraging to those that do like it. You can make year-round at home, and it does taste best if you, or I found it that the next day it tastes better. That's usually because of the sweetener, and all of the flavors just need to kind of melt together for a while. But the recipe that I took this from actually says to refrigerate it for 4 hours. I just think overnight is better. So I'll see you tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. Bye-bye, folks.